Good afternoon, Code Simplifier tribes. Behzad is here with another video for beginner programmers. In our last video, we created a schema or a database using the SQL scripts. And today, we want to add a new table and some values into it. So, let's get into it. Below your create a schema, write down use the school to and execute the script. If your execution icon is disabled, it is because you are not connected to your main database. Resolving this issue is easy. In your toolbar, click on this icon, then click OK. In this window, we need to enter the password for the database we created from our video number 1. Once you enter the password, you should be able to execute the script. Now our database is ready to store information in it. After the connection, just click on the use the school to and execute the line. Once you use it, database on your schema navbar should be highlighted. We will go through theories afterwards, so don't worry if it doesn't make sense right now. Below your last code, write down drop table if exists. Drop table if exists, and in this case the table name is going to be school. Then below the line, write down a create a table. Create table if not exists, and again it's going to be school. Then you need to open up the parentheses and semicolon. Once we created the school table, we need to add properties to it. The name, address, phone, and other details are table properties. Between the parentheses, write down a school name and set it as varchar 45 space not null, and it's going to be comma. School address, it's going to be address for the school, is going to be varchar 60 space not null, giving some space. School phone, it's going to be char as 10, and it's going to be not null again, comma, and write down primary key set to school name, and after the last closing parenthesis, write down engine equals to INNO DB, and our school table has been created. A quick flashback to primary key would be primary keys are the unique identifier for a table. In our example, school name is a unique, so we set it as a primary key for our table. Now we want to add some values into school table. So below your school table, write down insert school parentheses values parentheses and semicolon. Inside the school parentheses, we need to add these properties and assign values to them. So the first one is the school name, comma, school address, comma, and a school phone. So these are the three properties for our school table. The school name is going to be Code Simplify. The second property is the school address. It will be 200 First Avenue. And the last property is a school phone. So it's going to be 0404 123 321. Once we have done with our coding, we want to check if everything works fine or not. Below our last script, or insert into the table, write down select sign from table name. And because we haven't run our code since the start, we want to take one step at a time and run one by one. So drop table if exists, works fine. Create a table, created the table, insert value into our table, and now we are going to fetch information from the table we created. And here, as you see, we have the school name, Code Simplify, school address 200 First Avenue, and a school phone, as this is the number we inserted here. So let's export our work. Save it somewhere on your desktop. Let's check it out. And as you see here, we were able to successfully create a table, insert values or properties into that table, and export our work. And here is the result of our work. Good work. So we finished our practical. Let's get back to our theory to understand what we've done so far. After creating the database, we use the temp use script to get a database and make it ready to take information in it. And the second line here, we check the database for a table with the name school. If SQL could find a table with that name, it would delete it. In this case, the result would be false because the table doesn't exist. The script helps us to prevent overwriting and duplication. Then we create a table with 3 cells: school name, school address, and school phone. So varchar means variable characters. The number set to maximum character will be accepted for that cell. This example is the school name. And not null means there must be a value for it. I'll give you an example. The varchar 45 means any school up to 45 characters can be filled in this table. One school could have 10 characters, one school could have 20, one could have 35, and one could have 45. So that's why we just put the maximum as 45. Same principle has been applied to a school address, but the difference is here we set the varchar length to 60 characters because normally the addresses are longer in the character wise than names, and not exactly the same. And a school phone, we've set it as a char. Char means that is not variable, it has exactly the same length, and in this case is 10 because the phone numbers are always set to a default value. And the question may be, could we use varchar? Absolutely, you can use varchar instead of char, but char is more specifically set the data to it. And the primary key, which is our identifier for this table, is the school name. So school name is similar to your driver license number, the social security number, your passport number, or any identifier that can someone find you based on that information. Last part is engine InnoDB. So engine InnoDB is the engine that retrieves data from the database and give it back to us. Basically, when we insert data into a database, at some point we want to get back that data and use them. And InnoDB is the engine that does the job for us. Insert into gets the table and use the cells inside that table to assign value to them. It is important to make sure you use a correct order. In the next video, I will show you what will happen if you use wrong order when inserting data into a table. And the last script here will be used to get all the data from the school table and show it to us. As you saw, we were able to see the result and export it as well. I'm going to stop the video here and keep the rest for upcoming weeks. As per usual, if you liked the video, please make sure you press the like button. If you have any questions or any part of this video wasn't clear, please write your concerns in the comment section below and I'll respond to them as quick as I could. If you're not subscribed yet, please make sure you do so to not miss any content from upcoming videos. Have a great time and see you all later.